Hello, it's me, Robin, with Simple Food, Simple Life. How is everybody today? You know what day it is? It's Friday, and that means it's Friday Confab, when I get to sit and chit-chat with all of you. Isn't that awesome? I think that's awesome. I like Fridays because I just get to sit here and have my coffee. Got your coffee, got your tea, got your Coca-Cola, got your Dr. Pepper, your Fanta. How about just some water? That'd be good. Or broth, maybe some broth. That would be good. You don't really have to drink it out of a cup either, but I like drinking beverages from a mug. Is that weird? I'm looking off into my entryway. Just caught my eye. I look at it every day, right? I've got two metal plaques on the wall above the coat rack. And in each one there's birds. It's like nature. They're metal. And a light pastel colors on a yellowish vanilla type background. And there's birds on there. There's a bird on each one. They're really pretty. And one day I noticed that I have depictions of birds throughout my house. I never noticed that about me. I have those. I've got the picture of a robin above my sink. I've got 3 bird hot plates or plaques up here. There's birds. In the spare bedroom, I've got birds, 2 bird things on the wall. And then I've got the rooster here in that painted window in the kitchen. You guys have seen it. And I thought, what's up with that? Why do I do that? Have I always done that? Okay, and then I have a bird name. Robin. Now, I'm not going to tell you what my maiden name was, but let's just suffice it to say it was a bird name. Yeah. So now, I like birds. I don't like to see birds in cages or birds that are confined. That bothers me a lot. Even though my mom had canary or parakeets, and I thought they were pretty. I liked the singing of the canary, but it made me sad that they were in a cage. And I don't like to see that. I feel sad about that because they're not living their natural life, and their natural life is to fly and be free and whatever comes with that. So that bothered me. But have you guys ever noticed that about yourself? Have you had a realization, like you're just sitting there and you're, not doing anything, and all of a sudden you realize, what? Why do I do that? Why am I doing that? I have always done that. It's like, doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. It just means you have a realization about yourself. Sometimes that happens to me. I have realizations about myself. So I hope everybody is doing well out there in whatever realm you are in. I hope you're doing fine. I hope that you have your health and your wealth and you're feeling good and enjoying your life in whatever form that is. Because I'm doing really well. I went to the chiropractor yesterday, my monthly adjustment, and he said I'm doing great. So when I go to the chiropractor and he'll say, well, how are you doing? I say, awesome. And he goes, well, that's good. You are awesome. Thanks, Doc. I love my chiropractor. He's a great guy. Okay, now I've been thinking about something, and I thought I would talk to you about it and ask you what you think. Is this something that has ever occurred to you? I was thinking about my identity as a person, my self-identity, because all of us picture ourselves a certain way. And I was thinking about that here a while back. And I thought, how do I look at myself? How do I think of myself as a person? What is it about me that I want to present to the world or publicly or to others? And what is my value? How do I value myself? And a lot of times, that's attached to how you see yourself as a person. And I thought, at my age, I'm 74 going on 75, as you probably surmised or know. And I was thinking about how we go through different seasons of our life. And I was thinking, what season am I in right now? What seasons have I been in the past? And am I still clinging on to those times? Do I still see myself that way as in seasons past? And I know the scripture says to everything there is a season. And there is, including us. And so I thought, what am I hanging on to from the seasons of the past that are keeping me from living my best life now, keeping me from experiencing and becoming and living in the new season of my life, which is, I'm in my 70s. This is a new season of my life. And so I was thinking about that, and that led me, I suppose logically for me, it leads me to food. And we all have relationships with food, in one form or another. And I think with food, I am a person and have come to identify with food in my life, in the various seasons of my life. And what I mean by that is the preparation of food, making food, preparing food, feeding other people. How strong that has been in me. And even to the point of making an overabundance of food, because you never know, you might need more food. And actually pushing food on people. I did that when my kids were little. And my first husband was a rotund guy. And I didn't know anything that much about cooking when I was married young. And I had to learn. I was not basically, I don't want to say I wasn't allowed, but my older sister was in the kitchen with my mom a lot. I was not, because we were like oil and water, and she basically couldn't tolerate me. And so I was never in there. I didn't learn things from my mom. And some of that is not all bad, actually, really. But I just wasn't. She taught me how to, set the table properly in those days, because there was a method to setting the table right for a meal. folding napkins, knowing what serving dishes were for what and what silverware was used for what. Yes, that was a thing. And we weren't rich by any means, but my mother's mother taught her, and so she taught me. And I don't think my older sister was interested in those things, but she taught me something about, this kind of elegance when you're eating, where the glasses should go, where the cups, saucers should go, all that stuff. So I learned that, and I liked that. But I didn't really know how to cook that well, and so I knew some things, but most of it was from observation. And of course, back in the day when you're early married, you want to make things that your husband enjoys eating, that his mommy made for him, and you do that. And so I learned how to do things mostly by observation. Now, back in the early 70s, I think there was PBS, there was some cooking, Julia Childs, etc. on PBS, and I would try to catch those so that I could watch and learn some things. And then some of the jobs I had when my kids were young, they were part-time jobs, and that I could do, without a sitter, mostly in the evening. One was at a restaurant or supper club, and I worked with a chef, and he was mean. Why are chefs mean? What is it with that? They have egos that are bigger than the restaurant kitchen, and it makes for a terrible working environment. However, I thought, well, he is mean. He was Belgium, and he was mean. And he used to work in Las Vegas at these fancy restaurants and casinos, and he met all the big celebrities. And his claim to fame, he even had it hanging on the wall. It was a newspaper clipping of him and Frank Sinatra, because he made these beautiful omelets. I mean, he was good, and he made these beautiful omelets. And Frank Sinatra was so impressed and loved it so much that he came back to the kitchen and gave him $100 tip. And he had that. He had that hanging on the wall of the restaurant kitchen, and it was like, well, that's awesome. And he met all the big ones, back in the day, the Rat Pack and all them, because he was in Vegas. How he ended up in Illinois, I don't know. But anyway, I thought, you know what? He is mean. He's terrible to work around. And I thought, it doesn't matter. He's here. I'm going to see what I can learn from him. And I thought, getting through all the nastiness, I will learn what I can. And I did. And it was a challenge for me. But I learned some things that I have implemented. I implemented then, and I implemented throughout my life, so that I could become a better cook. And my desire was to be a good cook, a good home cook, and make really good meals. And I did. I learned to do that. I am a good cook. I am a good home cook, and I make things from scratch. I think it's good to know how to make things from scratch. Convenience foods are good, okay, because they have their place. But I learned how to make things from scratch. Bread and pies and cinnamon rolls and egg noodles and roast beef and fried chicken and fried fish and everything imaginable. I know how to make it. I unapologetically know how to make it. And so my identity became attached to food. Making good food, good meals that people loved, and because of that, I felt love from other people because I could cook. And there was always a place for me because I could cook. And I knew that when I made chicken and biscuits and chicken and noodles and beautiful food, home cooked food, home cooked desserts, when I did all that, people loved me. I had a place. I found a place in that. And that was a long season of that because I had children to raise, I had children to feed, I had a home to take care of, I had all of those things. And then as things changed in the later years, and I was divorced, and my working life, it began to change. But I still had to do some food. I still had to get those meals. I used that crock pot, and I found other ways to do things because that was my identity. And people loved me when I did that. Even when I subsequently worked in other restaurants, I knew how to do things, and I could bring something, no pun intended, to the table. And I felt that garnered me love and respect. And I also was always willing to show other people how to do it. I wanted to show other people, hey, you can do this. How do you do that? Oh, it's easy. You do this, this, and this. And then they could learn, and they could do it, and they could share it, and they could have the joy of preparing food for other people that would nourish them and sustain them and help them. And plus, I knew how to make things stretch. So I did that. And as I realized here these past few years, I think, I realized that was my identity. That was a long season. And I'm not in that season anymore. I haven't been in that season for a long time. If my family is here, can I cook? Can I still do it? Yes, I can. I can. And I'll ask them, do you want such and such? Do you want a favorite? But that's not my everyday life. That isn't my everyday life anymore. That part of my identity is it's no longer, I don't want to say it's no longer useful, but it's not supportive of me anymore. Now, on Simple Food, Simple Life, I show how to make different things. Sometimes I get on here and I just make stuff. I don't even know what I'm doing because I have an idea, or I've heard about it and I think, oh, okay, well, I'll try to make it. Let's see what happens. I do that a lot because that's part of the fun of being in the kitchen. But that's not my daily life. And so I was thinking about that, and I thought, part of that was reward for me. Oh, it was a lot of work. I worked really hard at it. There was lots of work for me. But I thought, oh, the reward is worth it. I get to take care of people. I get to feed people. And without even speaking that, they loved me for it. They felt happiness. But my daily life isn't like that anymore. I feed the critters, and then I have to feed me. And do I still cook? Yes, I do. You guys that are with me all the time, I still cook. And I cook for myself, for me. Just this one old lady. But that's okay, because I'm worth that time. I'm worth that trouble to do that. But there's nobody here that says, oh my gosh, I love this. This is so delicious. You're so great. I love you. No, there's nobody here for that. So I'm in a new season, and those things that I used to do that were so gratifying and felt good to me, made me feel happy, they're no longer relevant in many ways. But guess what? I have to find, and have been looking for and finding, new ways to satisfy my life and to make my life better. And what is that? Some of that still involves food, because as a lot of you know, I'm on carb restriction. I'm doing great and feeling good. And so I'm doing that. And so I share some of those meals with you on the post section of the Simple Food, Simple Life page. So you can kind of see what I've been up to as far as food is concerned, or what I'm eating. But and if that's helpful to you, I'm glad. I hope it is. If it is, that's good. Because we all need new and fresh ideas, and I'm all about simplification. Simplify the cooking, simplify the method. I keep it simple. I don't do complicated. Okay, so I think I've had to find a new way to do me. Does that make sense? I don't know. I feel like I'm rambling. I feel like I'm just a nonsensical person. So tell me, what do you think? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? That I'm in a new season of my life, and for the remainder of my life, and I don't know, I'll probably enter another season after this. I'm sure I will. Because, we have all the seasons of our life change, and I am finding ways to do for myself and to create that sense of accomplishment and satisfaction in myself as a woman in my 70s and a widow in my 70s and living by myself. So I'm finding ways to do that and finding joy in my everyday life. And part of the joy in my everyday life is that I get to share with all of you, and that I get to sit here and chat with you and ask your opinion and see what you think about things. And you can let me know in the comments, because I read them. And I read them. I give you that little heart right there. So I really am interested to know what you think. I know a lot of you are older, or some of you, you're going to be getting older. So, it might be some words of wisdom, dare I say, along the way, that maybe you can have fewer surprises as you get older. I have a thing about when people say, well, I guess that's to be expected when you get older. I say pshaw on that. No. I don't chalk up things up to old age. I think that's not productive in any way, shape, or form. So, nix that. Okay. Now then, I wanted to mention this to you because someone asked me about that. So, I thought I would take out a visual aid and show you. Someone asked me about, after the last Aldi grocery shop video, asked me how I store my green onions, because their green onions seem to go bad so quickly. And so this is what I do, and I've done for quite a while. I keep them in their original bag after I open them, but I store them with some paper towel. I take them out and I just put the paper just to absorb the moisture, because that moisture, the condensation and water accumulation around your food, like lettuce, celery, things like that, and green onions, can really deteriorate your food quickly. So that's what I do, and that really works really well. I don't really even close the end. I just do this, and it really helps them last longer. So, and then I try to be diligent about using them, chopping them up and using them in my food, maybe in place of just a regular whole onion. And because they do add a lot of flavor to food. So I do that. And you can see it's just actually half a paper towel in there. I do the same thing with my lettuce. I make sure I tear it and then put paper towel on the top and paper towel on the bottom. I also do the same thing when I store boiled eggs, because they tend to get a little moisture and kind of wet. I do the same thing with boiled eggs. I put a paper towel in there, and sometimes small piece on the bottom and one on the top, and it does help them a lot. The same way with the salad greens, those organic greens I've been buying, I do that too, because paper towel is great. It is great for that, and it helps your food last longer. So I did reply back to this nice person, and so I hope that helps. But I wanted to show you that. Itchy nose. What is it when your nose itches? They say somebody's talking about you. My husband used to say, well, when they're talking about me, they're just leaving everybody else alone. So there you go. And there's something else I wanted to mention to you. There was a comment on the last Aldi grocery haul video, and Liz Porto 4860, she made this comment, and it was kind of gave me food for thought. I did give her a heart because I read it, but I did not have a reply. She said, I wish people would stop posting shopping order. I'm sure she means orders. Thousands of people cannot buy groceries. So I wanted to put that out there and ask you, what do you think about that? I guess I don't really look at shopping or grocery haul videos like that. Let me know if you do, or is that something that bothers you when you see a haul video. I think that when you have a haul video and you tell the prices of those things, it's kind of like historical documentations of what things cost. If you click on shopping haul videos, say from 5 years ago that people have done, it's kind of shocking, the difference in the price of food in some ways. Not in all ways, but in some ways. So I almost had a little burp there. Yeah, it was rude. So, let me know what does that bother you, or is that something that you think is entertaining, or maybe some good information? Let me know what you think about it. I just wanted to, and thank you, Liz Porto, for this comment, because it did spark my thinking. So let me know what you think about that. Is that something that you I don't know. Is that something that you think of? Does that bother you? I don't know. Let me know. Also, I did read something today, or the other day actually, that kind of stuck with me. It says every morning we get a chance to be different, a chance to change, a chance to be better. Your past is your past. Leave it there. What do you think about that? I always think it's good, but I always think of the Lord, and his mercies are new. Every morning his mercies are new. Isn't that awesome? That is awesome. The other morning I woke up and these words were rolling around in my brain. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me, bless his holy name. And it stayed with me. It stayed with me. It stayed with me all day. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me, bless his holy name. It's beautiful. I love it. It's absolutely beautiful. So I want to share that with you, because you're beautiful. Well, you are. You're beautiful. Okay. All right. That's it for me today. I have rambled on. It's got almost 30 minutes. What? No way. All right. I love you guys. You know I do. As always, you know that little is much when God is in it. Okay? All right. Please take care of yourself. Talk to me in the comments because I'll be talking back to you. Well, not in a bad way, but in a good way. Okay? All right. Make sure that once in a while you check the posts on Simple Food, Simple Life Facebook or not Facebook, Simple Food, Simple Life YouTube page, because I do post pictures on there, and also some encouragement here and there, and it's a way for me to talk to you guys one-to-one, right? And I like to see your comments there too as well. This is awesome. This is awesome. All right. I love you guys. Take care of yourself. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.